Why does a man with so much life ahead of him come to believe that ending it all is the only way out? It's not that he wants to die, he just wants the pain to stop. For many men, life becomes a quiet war fought alone. They carry burdens without ever speaking of them, fearing that asking for help would make them seem weak. In silence, the pressure builds, and when it feels like there's no escape, suicide starts to seem like the only option. Men are often conditioned to suppress emotions from a young age. They're told to be strong, to never cry, and to solve their problems on their own. As they grow older, these emotional restraints harden, leaving them with no healthy outlet. They may feel as though no one will understand them or care enough to listen, so instead of reaching out, they retreat inward, and the weight they carry grows heavier. When that weight becomes unbearable, it's easy to believe that ending their life might be the only way to finally be free. The moment when suicide becomes an option usually isn't sudden. It's the result of a slow and painful erosion of hope. It can happen when a man faces a crisis that shakes the foundation of his identity, like losing a job, a relationship, or experiencing the death of a loved one. These moments feel like free fall. The world becomes chaotic, and everything that once gave him purpose or stability slips away. In these dark moments, suicide feels like a way to regain control, a way to put an end to the relentless chaos. For others, it's not a sudden crisis, but a long, slow slide into emotional numbness. When every day feels the same and the things that once brought joy no longer matter, life becomes unbearable. They might wake up every day thinking, why even bother? This emotional flatness, the absence of meaning or joy, convinces them that life is no longer worth living. Substance abuse can also be a dangerous factor. Alcohol and drugs, which some men turn to for relief, often worsen the emotional spiral. They mask the pain temporarily, but when the effects wear off, the feelings come back even stronger. During withdrawal or relapse, suicidal thoughts can creep in. In these moments, a man may think there's no way out, that he's failed yet again, and that ending it all would be easier than fighting the same battle over and over. Many men begin to believe they are a burden to those around them. They think their existence only brings problems to others. They'd be better off without me becomes a haunting refrain in their mind. It's a lie, of course, but when pain clouds your vision, it's hard to see anything clearly. This is why so many men who die by suicide often show no outward signs. They have convinced themselves they are doing their loved ones a favor. There are certain groups of men more at risk. Those in high-pressure careers like law enforcement, military service, or finance often feel trapped. Their professions demand emotional toughness, leaving little room to express personal struggles. Men going through divorce or separation are also at a higher risk. Losing family connections, especially access to children, leaves them feeling empty and powerless. Loneliness deepens, and without support they struggle to find reasons to keep going. Men from the LGBTQ+ community are also at significant risk. Many face rejection from family and society, compounding feelings of isolation and hopelessness. Those who have endured trauma or abuse carry emotional scars that don't easily heal. Without proper support, these men may find themselves haunted by their past, unable to envision a future worth living for. If you are someone who feels this way, if the weight feels too heavy to carry, know this: you are not alone, and it's okay to ask for help. It takes strength to say, "I'm not okay." Reaching out is not a sign of weakness. There are people who care even when it feels like no one does. There are lifelines, therapists and friends who want to listen, but they can't know what you're going through unless you tell them. Ending your life is not the answer. It may feel like the only way to stop the pain, but it leaves behind devastation for those who love you. They need you, even if they don't always show it. The truth is, people don't need you to be perfect or strong all the time. They just need you to stay. This conversation is hard, but it's one we need to have. Every life lost to suicide is a tragedy. Every man who feels he has no way out deserves to know that there is hope. No matter how dark it feels right now, there's always a way forward. Please don't let the silence win. Reach out. You matter more than you realize.